Good morning, students. Today we are continuing the respiratory system. So, we have learned about the different organs present in the respiratory system. The organs which are present in the respiratory system are nose and the nasal cavity, the first one. Second is the pharynx. Then the third is larynx. Then comes the trachea and bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, and the diaphragm. So, 8 different organs are present in the respiratory system. Now, coming to the lungs, lungs are also called as pulmons. The lungs are also called as pulmons, which are principal organs of respiration. The main organs of respiration are a pair of lungs. They are in pair, means they are two in number. The two lungs which are present in the respiratory tract are very important organs which are called as pulmons. Their main function is to oxygenate the blood, means the oxygen of the air is given to the blood flow. The blood flow takes the oxygen from the air which is inhaled inside the lungs. So the lungs play a very important role in respiration. They are two in number, lying one on each side. There are two lungs present and they lie on each side of thoracic cavity. They are present in the thoracic cavity by the sides each other. So then these two lungs are separated by heart in the middle. So I'll show the figure here. The two lungs are there. This is the one lung and this is the second lung. In between the heart is present. From the heart, the arteries, the pulmonary trunk which gives the pulmonary arteries, two arteries which go inside the lungs, and the veins here. From each lung, two veins, the pulmonary veins, they come and join the heart here. So the heart is situated here and the trachea, and these are the bronchi, two bronchi which enter the lungs. So this is one lung, this is second lung. So there are two lungs. In between the lungs, the heart is situated. Now, the healthy people, in the healthy people, they are light pink in color. In healthy persons, the lungs are light pink in color, but in people living in polluted areas, they are dark pink. In polluted area people, the lungs are dark pink in color. Each lung is conical in shape, covered by pleural sac which is double layered. The lungs are conical in shape and they are covered by pleural sac, the pleural membrane, that is a sac which is double layered. Two layered pleural sac is there in which the lungs are placed. Lungs are attached to the heart and trachea at the point of helium. The trachea divides into two bronchi and enter the lungs. The point of entrance is called helium, wherein the bronchi also enter. The bronchi enter inside the lungs. Then two pulmonary veins, they come out from the same place, that is the helium, and one pulmonary artery enters the lungs. So these are all the parts which enter at the common place called as the hilum. Hilum is the common place wherein the pulmonary vein and pulmonary artery, then the bronchi, they enter in the lungs. Each lung has a apex at the upper part and the base near the diaphragm, that is the posterior part. At the anterior region, the lungs is called apex. At the posterior region, it is called base. Coming to the next point, there are three borders present on the lungs. They are anterior border, second one is the posterior border, and third is the inferior border. The anterior border is very thin, and in left lung it shows cardiac notch which covers the heart, and pericardium below the notch a projection called lingula is present. In the posterior border, it is thick and extends from C7 to T10 level, related to the heads of ribs, C7 to T10 level. Now, the third one is inferior border, which separates the base from costal and medial surfaces. The costal and the medial surfaces are separated by inferior border. Coming to the surfaces, there are three borders, then two surfaces present. The two surfaces are costal surface and the medial surface. Costal surface and the medial surface. The costal surface is large and convex with impressions of ribs. It is related to pleura and thoracic wall. Medial surface, it is divided into posterior vertebral part and anterior medial part. The first part is related to vertebral column and the second part to the heart, vessels and hilum. Now, coming to the hilum, that is a common part from where the different arteries and the veins enter inside the lungs, that is the hilum. The medial surface of each lung has a vertical slit called hilum. It is just like a vertical slit. So a vertical slit is present in the medial surface of each lung, which is called hilum, which is also called root of the lung. Root of the lung, or highway for pass through the different structures. The passage to pass through the different structures. It is called hilum or root of lung. Entering and leaving the lungs at the hilum. The root of the lung is formed by pulmonary artery, the first one, which brings impure or deoxygenated blood to the lungs from heart. The pulmonary artery brings the venous blood from the heart to the lungs for purification or oxygenation. Then pulmonary veins, which carry oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. The oxygenated or the pure blood, when it is oxygenated in the lungs, it is carried by the pulmonary veins to the heart for further pumping. Then bronchial arteries, branches of thoracic aorta and carry arytenoid blood to lungs for nourishment of lungs. Branches of thoracic aorta. Thoracic aorta has the branch and it carries the arterial blood to the lungs for its nourishment of the lungs. That is the branchial artery. Then next one, branchial vein, which return the venous blood to the lungs to superior vena cava. The venous blood is returned by branchial vein. Then bronchi, which divide into bronchioles, and the bronchi enter in the helium region into the lungs. Then lymphatic vessels and lymph glands. Nerves, sympathetic and vagus nerves, which supply the lungs. The lungs are supplied by sympathetic and the vagus nerves. These nerves, they enter at the point of hilum. Lobes and fissures of the lungs. Each lung is divided into different lobes, different parts, and these lobes or fissures, they are present in the lungs. They are, the right lung is heavier, about 700 grams in weight. It is 700 grams in weight, the right lung. It has 3 lobes, superior, middle and inferior. It has 2 fissures, an oblique and a horizontal fissure. Fissure means dividing line. A oblique line and a horizontal division line is present. Hence, there are 3 lobes present in the right lung. That is the superior, middle and inferior. Its anterior border is straight. The right at helium is the arrangement at helium is different than left lung. It is shorter and broader. Coming to the left lung, it is little bit lighter, about 600 grams in weight. It may be 600 grams. It has 2 lobes, upper and the lower lobes. It has 1 fissure, one dividing line, that is a fissure, an oblique fissure. It is called as an oblique fissure. Its anterior border is covered and the upper lobe has a cardiac notch and lingual. It is larger and narrower. The arrangement at helium is different than right lung. The arrangement is different. Now coming to the pleura. Pleura means the outer membranes of the lungs. The pleural membranes. It is a serous membrane which covers the lungs and lined by a single layer of squamous epithelial cells called as mesothelium. It is a serous membrane which covers the lungs and lined by the single layer of squamous epithelial cells called mesothelium. It is made up of 2 layers. The inner layer is called visceral and the pulmonary pleura, visceral or pulmonary pleura, and the outer layer is parietal pleura. The inner one is called visceral or pulmonary pleura and the outer layer is called parietal pleura. These 2 layers are continuous with each other at the hilum of the lung. The space between these 2 layers is filled with pleural fluid to prevent friction. To prevent the friction, the space in between the 2 layers of pleura is filled with the fluid. The visceral pleura covers the surfaces and fissures of the lungs except at hilum and firmly attached to the surface of the lungs. The parietal pleura is divided into four divisions. The first one is the costal pleura, diaphragmatic pleura, third one is mediantial pleura, fourth one is cervical pleura. So the parietal pleura, that is the outer layer of the pleura, is divided into four portions. They are costal, diaphragmatic, mediantial, then cervical pleuras. There are two parietal spaces or pockets in the parietal pleura called as pleural recesses, which allow the lungs to expand during deep inspiration. While inspiration or the deep inspiration, the lungs are expanded by the help of these pleural recesses. Costomediastinal recesses, costodepopharyngetic recesses. So these are the two types again. So coming to the mechanism of the respiration, respiration involves two stages, inspiration and expiration. I have already explained this one. The respiration involves two stages, that is inspiration and expiration. Inspiration or breathing in, it is called breathing in, that is the inspiration. It is an active process assisted by the contraction of the following muscles. It is an active process. It is an active process. Inspiration is an active process helped or assisted by the contraction of the following muscles. There are different types of muscles present in the thoracic region, and these muscles help in the contraction and relaxation of the thoracic cavity or the lungs. And these muscles are, the first one is diaphragm. The contraction of diaphragm enlarges the chest cavity vertically. Then intercostal muscles, the muscles present in the rib region, they are intercostal muscles. Contraction produces elevation of ribs and sternum, which enlarges the chest cavity in the four sides. So the elevation of these intercostal muscles results in enlarging the chest cavity in all sides. Then the lungs expand at this stage and the pressure in the lungs is less than atmospheric pressure. So air flows into the lungs. The lungs expand at this stage and the pressure, the atmospheric pressure in the lungs becomes less than the atmospheric pressure. This result in the rushing of the air inside the lungs. This is called inspiration. Coming to the expiration, expiration or breathe out ಅಂತ ಅಥವಾ expiration. It is a passive process produced by the relaxation of diaphragm and intercostal muscles. So as the diaphragm comes to the normal stage and the intercostal muscles, they come down to the normal position, then the pressure exerts inside and the air moves out. So this is expiration. This produces, means the passive process in which the relaxation of diaphragm and the intercostal muscles when takes place, then reduction in the size of the chest cavity takes place. The pressure in the lungs increases, which forces the air outside. The rate of respiration is 16 to 18 per minute. The rate of respiration is 16 to 18 per minute in the adult. Respiration is regulated by first one, nerves control and chemical control. The respiration is regulated by nervous control also and chemical control also. Nervous control means it is exerted by respiratory centers present in the medulla oblongata of the brain. From this center, the impulses pass to the diaphragm through phrenic nerve and to intercostal muscles through intercostal nerves. The messages from the medulla oblongata, where the respiratory centers are present, these messages they come through the phrenic nerve to the diaphragm and intercostal muscles for respiration process, inspiration and expiration processes. Coming to the chemical control, this is effected through carbon dioxide concentration of blood. This is effected through carbon dioxide content of the blood. It means that the carbon dioxide content regulates the chemical control. An increased level of carbon dioxide produces stimulation of respiratory center and decreases levels produces the opposite effect. So the increased level of carbon dioxide produces stimulation of respiratory centers for further respiration. So the chemical control is also present on the respiration process and also the nerves control. So this is the inspiration and expiration mechanism of respiration. The different parts I have already explained, all the parts of the respiratory system. I will give the notes also. Then you will follow everything. So this completes the respiratory system. So the second we have taken, that is the respiratory system, in which we have studied about what is respiration, what are the organs present in the respiration, and details of each organ, and also the lungs. What are the lungs? The pleural sacs of the lungs, then surfaces, then other parts of the lungs. Then coming to the mechanism of the respiration. So all these we have studied. This completes the respiration. Tomorrow we'll take the next chapter. I will tell you which chapter we'll take tomorrow. So thank you very much.